Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So this week we are going to learn a new chapter, chapter 4, forces. In this video, I'm going to explain the first subtopic, 4.1, basic of forces and free body diagram. Okay, we look at the first learning outcome here. Identify the forces acting on the body in a different situation, where we can have weight, tension, normal force, friction, and external force. Okay, before we can identify the forces, we look at what is a force. Ataupun dalam bahasa Melayu, kita panggil sebagai daya. Apa itu daya? Okay, force is defined as physical quantity which causes an object to move, to stop, to change its direction, or change its physical form. So every object that moves or stops or at rest or changes direction or changes physical form has a force or has more than one force. Okay, setiap objek ni akan ada force. Di mana force ni kita selalunya tengok ataupun kita selalu nampak dia sebagai push or pull. But we will look at it in details later in the video. Okay, so that one is the definition of force. Okay, next one, force is a vector quantity. Bermaksud akan ada magnitude dan direction. So kalau ada direction, you need to include positive sign and negative sign in the calculation. So ada keyword vector, bermaksud kita kena tahu macam mana mau resolve vector, which we already use resolving vector a lot in chapter 2 and 3. Okay, next one, a force requires an agent. Okay, an agent here meaning that the causes. Okay, what causes the force to exist in the first place? Apa yang menyebabkan sesuatu daya tersebut wujud? Okay, kita kena tengoklah. Kita panggil dia dekat sini sebagai agent. Apa agent setiap force tu? Okay, force can either be a contact force or a long range force. So dalam syllabus long range force, okay, dalam syllabus kamu long range force ni hanya adalah satu, which is gravitational force. Dan contact force ni kita akan tengok in detail later. And the next one, SI unit for the force is kg meter per second square or Newton. So kedua-dua unit ni kita boleh gunakan sebagai SI unit. Okay, now we will look at the explanation for each force. First one, we have weight force. So weight force, okay, wajib ada dekat setiap objek. Why? Okay, why? Because the agent for this weight force is the earth or the gravity. Okay, so as we know that every object on the earth is under the influence of gravity. So that's why, okay, setiap objek akan ada weight force. Di mana direction kepada weight force ni adalah always points vertically downward. Dia mesti vertically downward. Dan kita gunakan simbol W. Dan equation untuk weight force is mass times with gravity. And we know that gravity is 9.81 meter per second squared. And mass is mass of the object. Can be 1 kilogram, 500 gram. So that is the mass. Okay, so you look at the diagram here. We have an object. So this object is placed on a table. So the direction of the weight force is going downward, and then kita akan letak symbol W. So if the object is placed on an inclined plane here, still the direction is going downward. Okay, dia mesti going downward macam ni. Dia tidak boleh macam ni. This is not weight force. Weight force, since dia adalah under the direction, under the influence of gravity, mesti going downwards. Okay, the second force here is tension force. The agent for this tension force is string, rope, wire, or yang sewaktu dengannya cable. So any object that is connected to the string, rope, wire or cable or anything that is similar to this has a tension force. Di mana direction for this tension force will be away from the object. Will always be away from the object. And then kita gunakan simbol dekat sini, simbol dia adalah T. Okay, so apa maksud away from the object here? Okay, as you can see in the diagram here, we have 3 objects. This one, and this one. So kita ada 3 objek dan setiap objek ni connected to a wire here. And all of them are connected together. Okay, so this first object is connected to a wire. So the tension force is the direction of the tension force is away from the object. So this one is object. So tension force dia, direction dia adalah away from the object. So sama juga untuk this one. We have A and B. So direction dia away from the object. This one pun sama, away from the object. Dan kita akan label sebagai T. So this one kita label lah. This one object A, TA. Object B, TB. But for the whole system, because they are all connected together, tension dia nilai value for the tension force will be the same. Maksudnya T sama dengan TA sama dengan TB. So kalau T ni adalah 50 Newton, so dekat sini pun adalah 50 Newton, 50 Newton. Okay, tension dia adalah sama, mesti sama dalam satu sistem yang sama if they are all connected together. Okay, so you just remember that direction is away from the object. Okay, away from the object bukan away from this one. Not away from the pulley or from maybe this one is the wall, the ceiling. No, dia mesti away from the object. Okay, next one we look at normal force. So the agent for the normal force is the surface. So any object that is placed on a surface will experience a normal force. Di mana direction untuk normal force is always perpendicular to the surface. Okay, so the symbol for this normal force is N. As you can see here, how do we know if the object is on a surface? Okay, usually lukisan dia akan macam ni lah. We have an object and then kita akan nampaklah surface macam ni. This one here means this object is on a surface. So the direction is perpendicular, which means 90 degree to the surface. Okay, dia mesti 90 degree to the surface here. So kamu akan letak label N. So kalau objek tu dekat inclined plane, sama juga 90 degree to the surface. This is the surface, so it must be 90 degrees. So kita akan letak label N. Okay, so always remember the direction is perpendicular to the surface or 90 degree to the surface. Okay, next one is a friction force. So friction force, the agent here is rough surface. Okay, in our syllabus, we always assume that the surface is smooth unless it is stated that the surface is rough. So kalau tidak dimention dalam soalan, dia adalah rough surface, bermaksud kalau dia tidak mention, tiada perkataan ni, bermaksud surface tu adalah smooth. So kalau smooth bermaksud tidak akan ada friction force. Kalau dia cakap rough surface bermaksud akan ada friction force. Dan friction force ni kita guna simbol F. Okay, tetapi friction force terbahagi kepada dua. Pertama adalah static friction, kedua adalah kinetic friction. Okay, di mana static friction dekat sini, simbol dia pula adalah Fs. Okay, macam mana kita mau tahu dia adalah static friction? Kita kena tengok keywords dalam soalan ataupun dalam situation yang diberikan. Pertama, keywords dia adalah when the object is about to move. Okay, dia about to move but it's not moving yet. So bermaksud dekat sini velocity dia adalah sama dengan kosong. It is at rest, static. Dia tidak bergerak pun. Okay, and then next one, when the object starts to move. Okay, ni adalah keyword lah. About to move, starts to move, just before the object begins to move. Okay, ni adalah the keyword for us to identify whether the friction is static or kinetic. Okay, so the direction for the friction force here is opposite direction in which the object would move if there were no friction. Okay, apa maksudnya dekat sini? Okay, so this is a block, an object on an inclined surface. So obviously objek ni kalau dia bergerak dia akan jatuh ke bawah kan, dia tidak akan ke atas unless kita ada tali dekat sini. But this one dia tiada external force, tiada tali ataupun tiada pergerakan yang dia bagi tahu dia bergerak ke atas. Obviously dia akan jatuh ke bawah. So kalau dia jatuh ke bawah, friction force ni mesti opposite. Okay, opposite direction daripada pergerakan yang dia akan lakukan. Okay, tetapi dalam situasi ni V adalah sama dengan kosong. Dia tiada motion lagi. Tapi kita tahu kalau dia start bergerak nanti dia akan jatuh ke bawah. So friction force tu adalah opposite direction. Okay, so always remember that friction force is opposite direction. Why is it opposite direction? Because we want to prevent the motion. Okay, dia mesti opposite direction daripada the motion. Okay, so for the kinetic friction pula, we use the symbol Fk. Okay, K dekat sini means kinetic. So kinetic means when it is start moving. Okay, kalau it starts moving, usually dalam diagram dia akan letak macam ni, V and then going to the right. So contoh kalau untuk surface yang horizontal saja, bukan incline, so dia bagi tahu dia akan tulis lah, mention dekat sini V is going to the right, maksudnya dia akan bergerak ke kanan. So friction force for the kinetic one is to the left. So here Fk. Okay, so always remember untuk friction force mesti opposite direction of the velocity of the motion. Okay, so the equation here for friction adalah sama dengan coefficient of friction times with the normal force. So normal force ni adalah normal force yang sebelumnya, yang dekat sini. Okay, normal force ni maybe dia punya selepas kita kira dia adalah 100 Newton. So untuk kirakan friction ni kita kena tahu normal force, and coefficient of friction usually depends kepada surface. Soalnya soalan akan bagi, soalan akan bagilah value untuk coefficient of friction. Okay, so just need to remember that the value for friction force will always be smaller than the value for static friction. So this one kamu kena ingatlah the concept here. Okay, last one we have external force. So external force can either be a push or a pull on the object, where the symbol is F or Fp. So the direction here will be given in the question. So if you look here at the example, okay, we have an object and then it's already given here the direction of the force. So kalau tengok dekat sini, okay, ni adalah external force lah. So remember, kalau dia adalah F saja, maksudnya dia adalah external force. So kalau direction dia ke dalam macam ni kan, nampak macam ke dalam, meaning that it is push. Maksudnya dia tolak lah objek ni. Okay, objek ni ditolak at a certain angle. So angle usually will be given as well, maybe 30 degree or 50 degree, and then the magnitude here for the F is 500 Newton. Okay, so we will look at the example in the next video. So that's all for the types of forces. Thank you.